Can you find a real estate platform that aligns everyone in the entire company financially by making us real estate agents owners, so when the average agent wins, everyone wins? That's the secret to success. And when you surround yourself with like-minded entrepreneurial people who absolutely love what they do, they love serving people, they love God and life, and you put yourself in an environment of high energy, high producing, positive people every day, you can't help but succeed in business and life. We are changing the real estate industry and changing real estate agents' lives. Welcome to the Financial Freedom Forever podcast.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Financial Freedom Forever podcast. I'm super excited for our guest today, Mederic, Danis from Gatineau, Quebec. How you doing today, Mederic?
Doing amazing. Glad to be here, Andre.
Yeah, I'm really excited to kind of hear your story and share it with our listeners. You guys are in for a treat today. Mederic has been an entrepreneurial person since he was 9 years old, and we'll hear more about that. He worked in his family business as a director of operations in a warehouse management for like 7 years, and got into real and had 20 employees, pretty young age, and got into real estate December of 2020, and sold over 65 homes his very first year in real estate. So we're going to want to find out how he did that. And he has grown an organization twice as big as the average person at EXP in this short of time of only being here 8 months. So I'm super excited, and everyone get your notepads out so we can learn from this man from Quebec who's going to be blowing up Quebec, I think, with the real estate business in the months and years to come. So welcome again.
Well, thanks for the intro, man. And again, thanks for the invitation as well. Pretty glad to be here. Pretty happy to be part of this journey with you guys in EXP. So yeah, very stoked, man. Let's move on. Let's go.
Yeah. So let's start with just sharing with our listeners a little bit about your story, personal and business. Let's start with your entrepreneurial background and we'll go from there.
Perfect. So yeah, as we were saying a few minutes before, it started on my end at a pretty young age. So not an actual business, but my dad was when I was since I'm like 5, 6, 7 years old, my dad introduced me the work ethic pretty young. So he was paying me $20 because my dad's an entrepreneur too. He was paying me $20 to cut the grass. It started like this. And then, but I hated it. And so then I looking at my dad I saw him paying some people to do the task he didn't want to do. So I said, why not I do it myself with the grass cutting thing? So then I was waiting until my dad was leaving the house, and I was going to knock on my buddy's door. I was giving him $5 to do my job and cut the grass. So then I was making a $15 profit. Probably at that time in my mind, I was not aware of being like with the profit and things. So I was just more happy. I could buy more candies. And then he was giving me more tasks because he thought it was well done. And so he was asking me to cut the setter, asking me to clean the pool, to do the dishes. And at some point, I was paying like 4 or 5 of my buddies to do everything, and I was making so much money. But at one time, he came back to the house after leaving with my mom, and there was all that many people working on his house, and he says, "What the fuck's going on here?" And I said, "Dad, you taught me to do this. I'm doing like you." So I hired my buddies, and they're doing my work, so I can go play my video games.
That's fantastic.
And then
I love it.
And then I grew up, and when I went to college on business management and marketing, there was like this contest to win a franchise, and so they were picking like 2 people in all of Quebec, and I was 17 years old, and I ended up winning the window cleaning franchise, which is called Window Net, and I ran this business for a year. Broke my contract because they were taking way too much out of my profit margin. And then I moved on, started back another business at 21, window cleaning. At 22, I started a car shelter rental company. At 24, I started a business and marketing, the way I was doing logo, website, t-shirt and stuff like that. And I ended up being, like you said, director of operation for Danis management company, which is a heavy equipment at primarily. But then we got this contract with Resolute Forest Product, which is a huge paper mill. And so I started at the bottom, moved my way up, and I was managing the whole thing. I had 20 employees full time. I was 25 years old. And I had clients like New York Times, Boston Globe, Washington Post. We were shipping newspaper in Dubai, in China, in Brazil. So it was a bumpy ride, but I learned so much, learned enough to know that it was not meant for me, since I was so more of a people person about relation and helping others. So I jumped into real estate, and I got my license in 2019. And here I am a few years later.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Well, I want to again welcome everybody to the show. John Grudy, good to see you. Bill, Rachel, if you guys have any questions, put them for Mederic, put them in the comment section. We'll go ahead and ask them. Definitely share this on your Facebook feeds and share Mederic some love. And I appreciate you guys all jumping on today. Hey, Jill, good to see you. So, Mederic, tell us how you sold 65 houses in your first 12 months in real estate, and tell us a little bit about your background, your real estate background.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, for sure. Of course, I was in business for like almost 10 years when I started real estate. So I had a bit of my background was involved for sure. I hired a coach. So I 2 to 4 weeks before getting my license, I hired the best coach in all of Quebec, Louis-Pierre Mercier. So he trained me, and as soon as I got my license, I was able to jump in and do the work, and was managing my real estate business as a business. So I was subcontracting. I never installed a sign in my career. I was hiring VAs already. I did like 4 listings online myself. So I was already running it like a business, and I was pretty interested into social media. So I told myself, how can I grow an audience as fast as possible that's going to bring me some referrals and it's going to bring me some business? So I was reading a lot about this online, and I figured out that if I was using my personal Facebook profile, is the only platform that's going to get you to put more people in your audience just on clicking add a friend button.
Right.
So then I started adding people, and I got to the maximum, which is 5,000. Right. And I started to interact with these people, send DMs, and also putting some pretty creative content online, which is like videos, like graphic stuff. And people were starting to like me and referring me, their parents, their family, because I was starting to be known in the space. And managing it like a business, referring some buyers to other agents. And I did like out of 65 deals, it was like 45 sellers and only 20 buyers.
And that was, didn't you tell me earlier, that was within 6 months?
Well, yeah, because COVID hit.
Right.
And then I had to stop. Well, I worked for January, and then all of February I went to Chile. Well, and then I came back first week of March, and a few days later COVID hit, and everything was shut down until May the 11th. So I did this from May to December, and I was pretty stoked, pretty happy about what I did.
Yeah, and correct. Congratulations. I mean, I've been in business for 32 years. In my first year, I think I sold 7 properties. But I hope the listeners really caught that, was you hired a real estate coach, the best in your market, before you got your real estate license. See, I didn't hire my coach until I think I was in the business 7 or 8 years. So no wonder you went 10 times, my first year, because you started running your business as a business right from day one. And man, if anyone's taking notes, that's the first thing, because I believe when we all need a coach, and when you um, surround yourself with people that are doing 5, 10, 20 times more than you and me put together, they lift us all up, right?
Exactly. Yeah, totally. And like my dad told me this when I was young. Eh? He says there's two way of doing something you don't know how to do. The first one is going to be the cheapest. You hire someone who's going to teach you how to do it. You hire someone in the best of that space, and you ask him to teach you how to do it. The second way is you hire somebody to do it for you in your company. So this was my mentality right off the bat. So that's why I did it.
And that's why you're growing your business so quickly. And congratulations. That's honored to be in business with you, sir.
Thank you. It's same for me here, Andre.
So I think you told me you first started with Remax for a while, then went to another company and back to Remax. Tell us a little bit about that, why you made the move, and then how did you hear about EXP? And we'll go down that road for a minute.
Well, I went to Remax because when I did my real estate license, my favorite professor was a director, a broker of record at Remax. So it was my first contact. So I went there. And then I was pretty happy, I was doing my thing, not really wondering what they were doing for me. But I at that point, like I figured out, okay, the branding is fine. It cost a lot of money, but it was like this, man. There was not really many more choices on the market. So I went to Remax. I did like 65 transactions my first year, 72 my second, and then I went a bit crazy because I was working too much, and I invested a lot of money in real estate. So I was doing flips, investment, transaction, and so I decided to just take a big step back. I went traveling around the world for 4 months, and when I got back, I decided to focus more on commercial. Since I was an investor, I told myself, why just not work with investors?
Okay.
But the company that I was with was pretty rigid marketing wise. So, and I'm a creative guy. I like to do video. I did a Star Wars video. I did many videos that went viral. And so I went back to Remax since it was like this. There wasn't many options. But at this point, I'm pretty curious on what's going on YouTube. I always want to learn more about real estate, more strategies. So I ended up seeing that guy who's doing many videos. His name is Mike Sherrard, and I had a meeting with him, but he's in Alberta. I was not really connecting with the guy. Well, not really connecting is not the right word. I felt he was far from me.
Right.
So and at this point, I was maybe not ready to do the move, and I was missing a connection with somebody close to me to jump in. And then a few months, well, almost a year and a half went by, and then I met Pierre Nadeau, which is an awesome guy. And this is where really I've been analyzing the model for months and months and months, trying to convince me to do it. But nobody around me could really, like, I could get a feel of them and could explain me their way, their experience, their adventure. And then we decided to jump in November 2022. And since then, we're having a blast. We're having fun. It opens so many business opportunities compared to real estate, the old method, the normal method, which is so like narrow mindset and narrow thinking, because it's been like this for decades, and no one has been challenging the way of doing it.
Right.
And so yeah, we made the move, had a blast. We're now already more than 80 agents in our group, and it's growing every single week.
Yeah, that's fantastic. The growth has been pretty impressive. I know when I got into EXP 4 years ago, there was only 300 agents in the entire country of Canada. When I actually called Pierre Nadeau, one of my old friends. And today is his 4-year EXP anniversary. Today, I called him and Pat this morning, and just congratulated them. And but now we have, what is it, 6,000 agents in Canada now?
Canada, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but Quebec is just really getting started. How many EXP agents in Quebec right now?
I got the number right here. So it's EXP 283.
283.
Yeah.
Wow, that really gives me goosebumps, because that's even less than the 300 when I first called Pierre 4 years ago. Imagine what the province is going to look like, 4 years from now, with leaders like yourself and your group bringing this new model to the market. Tell us, Mederic, what did you see at EXP that really, the top two or three things that had you leave the big Remax brand and knew it was going to be, a good fit for you to grow your business to the next level?
So the first thing that got me very interested is like the way the business, the ecosystem of the business is built. In real estate, the normal way of thinking is like, I'm not going to give you my secret because you're going to take a part of my business. I'm going to give you my best tricks because then it's going to hurt me.
Right.
But when they talked to me about EXP and I saw this whole structure, then I said to Pierre, so if I look a bit beyond the model, that's going to mean you have some pretty direct interest in my success, right? He says, yeah. And the guy that sponsors you, your mentor, is gonna feel the same way about me, right? And he says, absolutely. And this is gonna be like this for me when I'm mentoring people and partnering with some more agents in my group. Correct. So yeah. So that being said, are you guys all helping each other win the game? He says, Mederic, that's the whole point of the model. And I'm like, okay, in the best of both worlds, we have a model in our hand that nobody can win alone. If you want to win the game, you have to help some more people win their own game. And this is what, in my opinion, makes this system so beautiful and so perfect, because everybody wants everyone to win. And this is why it's been the most successful real estate brokerage in the old history. So this is the first part. Then the second part was, of course, the endless possibilities of adding more revenue stream to my income.
Right.
Because I was already doing conferences. Like, I spoke in front of hundreds of people. I was already doing coaching, but it was a pretty limited how it was impacting my business financially. Yeah, conference was paying me a few $100, a few thousand, but it was one-time deal. It helped my views and my my influence online. But other than this, not really much. But now everything I've been doing all my life is now making more sense because of the agent attraction possibility out of EXP. Because EXP is not only going to treat you as an agent, but they're going to treat you and pay you as an ambassador of the brand. If you help the brand grow, they're going to pay you for your efforts, and not only giving you a gift card for Starbucks like I had before. So this was the second thing. And then for me, the third thing was being part of a brotherhood bigger than only my 3 office buddies. I feel like real estate is a pretty independent business. You don't get to share your win that much. You don't get to share your losses. But being part of a group like this, like Honey Badger Nation, and now us, we did a bit of the same thing in Quebec for the French part of Canada, which is called Horizon. But being part of a brotherhood, being part of people who care, being part of something bigger than myself that's going to help me, it's going to put myself in an environment that's going to help me grow as an entrepreneur, as a person, and as a real estate agent, for sure.
Yeah, I love it, and I love your energy, your passion, because you can tell that you really love what you do, and this is a really good fit for you to help more real estate agents, grow and bring their businesses to the next level. What are you doing if somebody was in Quebec and they would like to join your team or interested in getting more information about the EXP model and what it would look like to partner with you? What are the things you're doing for your business partners to help them grow in Quebec?
Well, the first thing we do is every Tuesday at 9 a.m., we have a Horizon Mastermind. So we bring some experts in many spaces to come and share their knowledge. We do some like this last Tuesday. Well, yesterday I went to a conference last weekend, so I shared my experience and my highlights. So we do this every week. We have also 2 broker of record in Horizon that are here to help any agent on top of the broker of record of EXP, who are doing a fantastic job so far. So we have like this local of inside the group support. After this, we're doing events. So we already did 2 conferences. We did one in Gatineau here. We did one in Montreal, and we're having a third one in August in near Sherbrooke. So we are doing these gatherings to help people reunite and inspire themselves. Also, I'm doing some live coaching with my agents personally to help them grow their business, grow their organization, and yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing right now. On
That's
top
awesome.
of all connecting together and sharing our knowledge, all the group together.
And for all the coaching and training and help that you're helping your own team, how much do you charge them for all that? Because I know at other companies, to get that kind of one-on-one and that kind of coaching and training, you got to pay for it.
Well, I've been investing thousands of dollars every month in my coaching and my training, but now the beauty of EXP is I can do this for free. Well, because they're part of my group, so helping them grow is gonna help me grow my own business, and the more people win around me, the more I'm winning, Andre.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's kind of a common theme within EXP is you get connected to the right group. You get a lot of coaching and training and help because we're all partners. We're all owners of the company, and they say rising tides raises all ships. Correct?
Exactly, and that's what an agent that came with me. He told me just before doing the switch. He said, "You gave me more coaching in a month than I had with my own brokerage in 5 years."
Oh wow!
So then he said, like, it's pretty much a no-brainer for me right now. But yeah, it's the beauty. It's the abundance mindset, and that we're part of.
That's awesome. Was there any surprises? What was the biggest surprise to you joining a cloud-based company like EXP, coming from a brick and mortar? What were you not expecting that might have been even better than you thought when coming over?
Well, my first surprise was the receptivity. Can I say this? Is it a word?
Uh-huh.
The receptivity of my clients, because I got who is EXP, so I ended up doing my research and having a whole slide in my presentation, and after a few evaluation and few seller consultation, they ended up telling me more that it was me they were hiring. So if I was with EXP, with any other brokers, they didn't really care. And I've been told this, but I didn't believe it that much. But then I experienced it on the field. This was my first surprise. My second surprise is how leaders were walking their talk. Because you're being told all that good stuff and how it's gonna go and how they're gonna help you, but just yesterday I had an hour and a half meeting with Tarek Elatar, who and him and Steve, they're gonna help me like a lot to build my own team, real estate team. Like even their assistant, they're gonna help my assistant. They're gonna train me. They're like it's pretty. It's coaching that would have cost me and costed them hundreds of thousands of dollars because they've been in the business for decades and they learned a lot. And
Right.
so yeah, these are the two factors that that
Yeah,
that I like the most since I joined.
that's a big deal. I mean, your clients were receptive
Receptive.
of what about EXP because of you. And thanks for sharing that, because so many people, they're at a big name. It doesn't matter if it's Remax or KW or Center 21 or whatever it might be. They're kind of at this big name and they think that balloon or that name is what brings them a ton of business. But when you normally ask them, how many leads did that company give you? It's like none or one. It's you that people want. It's your hard work and your years of doing a great job, and you're getting that business to come to you, right? So that's a huge deal. So thanks for sharing that. And yeah, Steve and Tarek, I mean, weren't they like number 1 or 2 in Remax and all of that area?
Number 1 in Ottawa.
Number 1 in Ottawa.
Yeah.
And they're just giving you everything they got.
They had their own brokerage. So and they switched it.
Right. Yeah, they're super nice guys and have enjoyed getting to know them as well as part of our group. And you guys I'm excited for how you guys are going to be taking over Ottawa and Quebec, because you're obviously high level entrepreneurial business people and bringing that into real estate and then pouring everything that you have into your business partners. It's just a win-win, beautiful situation.
Yeah, exactly. And people are curious, at the beginning, like I had tons of messages and people want to look, they're not sure if it's going to go, if it's going to build for real. But the more we grow, the more people are curious and they want to know even more. So it's like it's a compound effect. So
Right.
the more we dive in, the more we have some leaders around ourselves, the more it grows, and it's gonna be hell of a journey. Like I visualize myself in a year or two, and I can feel that we're gonna be giant steps from where we are now, even though we did giant steps since November.
Right. Where do you see yourself in 5 years, Mederic?
Puerto Rico? No. Well, in 5 years, my goal is to have 500 by the end of 2024 in my group. So it's going to be after my second year. In 5 years, my goal would be to have 4,000 in my group, and having an impact on so many agents and so many people is definitely going to help me feel fulfilled in my life, in my personal life, because I like even more having a positive impact on people than doing transaction. And this is why I'm here. So in 5 years, I want to have for sure a house on the side of the ocean. I want to have my family, but on top of everything, I want to feel happy where I am. I want to have time, an abundance of time with my children, with my family, with my dad, with my brothers. And I feel like this is the business this is the perfect vehicle to help me getting there. For sure, I want to do more deals and build a strong team. But being happy and having time is the best currency there is.
Yeah, absolutely. The name of our podcast is the Financial Freedom Forever podcast. So I know you're definitely gonna be there soon, and time freedom is a big deal. As far as real estate agents, we know we're on that transactional treadmill, right? We're only as good as our last sale. But when you can build a business within a business and start getting your time back and still have financial freedom or have an income coming in that doesn't go away because you slow down or step off that treadmill, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, very. That's the
Yeah.
best thing.
if anybody wants to reach out to you to get questions answered, find out more about EXP or join your team, is calling the phone number that's on the screen, is that the best way to reach you, or how should people reach out to you?
Phone number is a good way to reach out. You can reach out on any social media platform. So Facebook, Instagram, these are TikTok as well. But yeah, if you take a screenshot, take my phone number. Feel free to reach out if you want if you want to pick up my brain as well on social media and on how I built my business. It's going to be a pleasure of mine to helping you as well. So
that's right. And you don't have to be in Quebec. You can be anywhere in Canada or anywhere in the U.S. We're in 25 countries. So
yeah,
it doesn't matter where you're located. If you think Mederic or I can help you, definitely reach out to us by social media or scan the link that's there, or call us. We're very happy to take care of you for sure. Last couple of things, Mederic, if there was an independent broker owner out there, or even an agent, they're comfortable where they're at. You know, they're happy, they're comfortable, and they haven't really looked at EXP, or maybe they have, but they didn't really take a deep dive. What would you recommend for them to do?
You are where you are right now in life because of your curiosity. This is what fuels us as entrepreneurs. So closing your eyes on what's happening right now is a huge mistake you're doing, because it's a bit of an ego-driven decision. So let your curiosity fuels you again. Go see what's going on in the market. And then the worst that will happen, it's going to help you improve your business, or the way, or your system, or the way you're doing things right now. And if at the end of the day, it is a good fit for your business, you see that it's going to help you grow even more, and release you from some of the responsibility that you have, and help you focus even more on business development, then we're going to help you do it. But go back to basic. And the basic is let your curiosity fuel you, and go check what's going on right now, because it's going fast. And when the boat is going to leave the dock, it's not going to come back. So now is the time to take action, and to at least get the information.
That's great advice, because Pierre Nadeau, who was my first Canadian friend that we shared this opportunity with, like I said, there was only 300 agents in Canada, and he told me when he first looked at it, it made a lot of sense. But he had his own independent company. Why would he make that change? But he told me later that he continued looking into watching videos and letting me introduce him to other people, because he wanted to be able to poke holes in it to say why it wouldn't work for him. He wanted to learn about it because he's a smart entrepreneurial man, and he wanted to know what the competition was doing. But he wanted to be able to say, okay, I checked it out. It wasn't going to be for me. And a lot of the agents and brokers do that by, spending an hour or two and learning a little bit and say it's not for them. But he spent like 60 days really digging into it and really looking at it. And the first 30 was to kind of say why it wouldn't work. But when he started digging in more, the next 30 days was, wow, there's a lot more to this than I expected, and started asking different questions. And then a few months later, he merged his company with us, and he's 5x his net income, and it went from 15 agents to 40 in his individual office, and it's been a game changer for him and his family. So that's really great advice for you to share that with people, to just be curious and really don't superficially look at it, really dig into it to find out why it's fastest growing company on the globe. So thanks for that, Mederic. And my very last question, I always ask everyone before we shut out for the podcast, if there's your favorite book, if you're a book reader, what you'd like to recommend to our listeners, or if you're a movie watcher, your all-time best movie you'd like to recommend.
My all-time favorite book that I read is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie.
Okay.
So it's a book on. He says that the most interesting person in the room is not the one that's going to talk the most. is the one that's gonna listen the most and ask the best questions. So he's redefining the way we interact with people to get more influence and to make even better relations. So it's a book I'm reading almost every year, and it's it's a pretty solid one. Movie wise, I'm a pretty big fan of Catch Me If You Can by Leonardo. So I've always been in that mindset that if you act as if and if you believe it enough, you can do pretty much anything you want. It's only the only limit the lesson here is the only limits that we have is the one that we give ourselves.
Right.
So believe it, do it, act as if, and you'll be pretty amazed on how well life is built and all the things, the great things that are going to happen to you.
Well, that's awesome. Again, I appreciate you jumping on our Financial Freedom Forever podcast today. Happy to be in business with you. Congratulations on all your success so far. And I know you're going to be a name everyone knows here in Quebec real soon if they don't already know you. So congratulations and thanks for joining us today. And we'll see everyone else next week here in the Financial Freedom Forever podcast. Thanks, Mederic. Appreciate you.
Thanks, you. Pleasure is mine, man.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye. Listen to what our business partners are saying about our FFF group.
What I like best about the Financial Freedom Forever group is that we have a diverse network of high-level producers that mastermind and share best practices to help improve each other's businesses. And the network has become such a close-knit group with such a tight culture that you just won't find anywhere else.
The Financial Freedom Forever group's been absolutely amazing. The training, the coaching, spent tens of thousands of dollars on coaching in the past, and I've gotten more out of the last year and a half than I've gotten out of all of them.
I believe if you surround yourself with like-minded people that are doing 10 to 15, 20 times more than me and you put together, we all bring each other up and bring our businesses to the next level and our lives. To learn more about how to partner with us, go to partnerwithandre.com or click the link below. And let's have a conversation.